this sage. For those that are unfamiliar with sage, it's a plant clearing agent. Because I wanna open up this space that something that came up for me, like in like observing my words and intentions and like what's going on in my head, and in my heart and soul. And I came with this word deserve. So I was like, yo, man, I gotta look at this for real. So Vince, what's up, man? Vincent. So the sage is the intention of the sage is to clear. So basically, just to clear any perception, clear your perception, clear attachments to the word deserve, and be open to seeing it another way. So that's what the sage is about. So while I'm burning this here, the whole context behind this video and this lesson that I took on, that I'm like, oh, junk. It got me to see something. I was like, oh, this is crazy. This is serious. When I was saying, I was in my head and I was writing something like, I don't deserve this. And then there was another thing, like, I deserve. And it's wild because this was about, let's say, this is at the time it's recording, this is Saturday. So this was Wednesday. Yeah, this was Wednesday. This was happening. So I was like, damn, man, what the heck? So then come to find out, with one of my client sessions, that word came up again. And I'm like, what? Okay, what the heck is going on here? Then, like, I started really diving into this word deserve, because I've been one of my guides recently, as I'm going through some things, one of my guides, he's really having me dive into my language, what I say to others, what I say to myself. And as he's had me do that, and this has been like maybe 4 months, it's really gotten me to unlock some things. It's been uncomfortable because I recognize the way that I talk to myself, the way that I talk to others, the undertones that are happening. So I feel things when I hear words. I have been feeling things as I hear words since I've been working with John. And when I said to myself, like, I deserve, hey, Anna, what's up, man? What's up? Hey, D? Good to see you. When I was working with John, I noticed, like, wow, I feel things in words. So when I had myself say deserve, I said, yo, man, what deserve? Like, wow, this was crazy. So, like, I'm a word nerd, man. I like to look up words and stuff, and look at the meanings and intentions of words. So this word, here's what it is. The definition of deserve. First of all, deserve is a verb. The definition of deserve is to do something or have or show qualities worthy of reward, in parentheses, reward or punishment. So I was like, wow, man, this is interesting. So I even, oh, look at that butterfly chilling. Look at that. That's freaking fresh. Hold up. Can you see this thing, this butterfly right here? Yeah, see it chilling? Transformation, for real. Coming confirmation. Yeah, this right here is the transformation piece. Because what I recognize is, by me saying deserve, the transformation, I'm in victim. Like, I'm in this victim state. Like, oh, well, woe is me. I deserve this. I've done things. I deserve. I should have. Or I don't deserve this. I've done this. So when I really started diving into it, I started looking at the synonyms of deserve. So some of the synonyms: earn, justify, be entitled to, have a right to, have a claim on. Yo, for real, right? Have a claim on, be good enough for, be qualified for. So I was like, yo, this is crazy. It's like there's a standard by us even saying this word deserve. Like there's this like there's this ranking, or there's this, like, I have to earn something, I have to be something else outside of myself to get something. So it's like, as soon as I do something outside of myself, there's intrinsically, by saying I don't deserve or I deserve, there's some sort of like punishment system. If I've done a certain amount of things, then I get this. If I haven't done a certain amount of things, or have yet to do a certain amount of things, then I'm gonna have less, or I'll have nothing. So it's funky, man. So that wasn't the first layer. So or that was another layer. Then in the client session, then when my client was like, I don't deserve, I was like, so tell me about that. Like, you feel like you don't deserve. Working with John, I feel like that's a feeling thought merger. It's like I'm merging a thought and a feeling. Like, really, there's a thought that, or there's some sort of data that's happened in a person's life. I'm gonna speak for myself because this is what came with me. There's data where it's like, I've done something that I feel I don't deserve this. So that can come in the form of, like, if somebody gives you praise, if somebody gives you $1 million, you're like, oh, I don't deserve this. Like, some people be like, yo, I'll take that junk. Other people be like, what is that? Like, is there something within that says that you've determined makes you unable or unqualified to receive a thing? You don't speak it for me. I'm speaking for me. So then when I dove deeper, this is where I started to recognize some of the manipulation in language. The original root of deserve is Latin. It's maybe I'm pronouncing this right, maybe not. Deservere. Okay, if anybody speaks Latin, you can hook it up, man. Help me out. Deservere. The meaning is to serve well or zealously. Zealous, zeal root. The word zeal is the root. Zeal, that's a word I don't hear often. I'd hear that in the Bible, like when I was going to church. Andrew, what's up? Enthusiasm. That's why when I looked into zeal, that's enthusiasm, being committed, or enthusiasm, committedness. So really, deserve is deserve. Its original intention. Thank you, I get it. Its original intention is about serving committedly. Like, I'm going to go towards something with a passion, with zeal. I serve. I deserve. I deserve. Oh my gosh. There's serving there. There's serving. See, this is why I'm a word nerd. I could go on for freaking days on this. And this is where this is where this word deserve can be the devil. Because as soon as what I recognized when I was writing my journal, I was sitting with this last night. I recognize when I'm in this space of, oh wow, I have to do something outside of myself to deserve this, rather than focusing on a thing that I can go through with commitment, committedness, enthusiasm, my purpose. When I'm focused on that vibration, Rachel, what's going on? When I'm focused on that vibration, now it's like there's a different level. It's not I have served. It's basically serving. Isn't D, I think de in Spanish is of. So really de serve is of service. So I'm being of service. And now how we say it is like, well, I deserve this. Well, if you're in service, then you had some sort of intention of getting something in return. Being truly in service means you're doing something with no expectation of getting something in return. That's truly being of service. It's not for like being in service so you can get a bunch of fucking Instagram likes or like post some pics or like get a t-shirt. It's more than this. This is where I'm talking about deserve is the devil. Is it really? No, it's how we're looking at it and how we've been trained to look at it. Like, do you deserve an A? I don't know. Maybe. Do I? I don't know. What are the standards? And here's another thing with deserve that I was writing about, right, in my journal. By whose standards? If I have to deserve something, right, I mean, like, am I qualified for, then who set the standards? Is it me? Is it something outside of me? Because if it's something outside of me, listen, I may never be qualified. Warren, what's up, man? I may never be qualified. So this is something, I'm putting this out here because language is important. Be aware, be curious of the things that you say. See this blue jay freaking talking right now? I get you. There's like a family of 3 of them over there. They're always chilling. Yes. So great. Anyway, yeah, just watch the language. And when like, and check the feel of when you say certain things, because again, when that word comes up, really check yourself. Like, okay, like what is it really that I feel, that I think that I've done, or I've observed that I've done, that has me qualified to receive this? And there's some truth there, because then some truth came from me. Remember, I told you this whole thing started on Wednesday. I was letting this marinate and soak in this in my sit with self, and just like, wow, this is really interesting. And then it started coming up in my client sessions where I was like, oh, wow, fascinating. What about pain and sadness? I've been pondering, do we deserve this suffering? So again, like so Andrew, thank you for that. So this is a thing where it's deserved. Like, do you deserve suffering? That can be that devil piece where it's looking at, well, I've done something wrong. Like, so I don't like, for example, do I deserve this suffering? Like, it's these things, like we label suffering, like these and like the joys and the rise, the highs, the lows. These are all part of life that we experience. So by saying deserve, are you of service to the suffering? Right? Are you of service to that suffering? Are you? That's the thing to really look at now that I'm looking at your question. Do we deserve this suffering? Are we of service to suffering? Are we passionate about suffering? If we can become passionate about something, then technically, yes, you deserve it. You deserve it. So this is thank you for this question, because this has me looking at something else in what I was saying to myself, where it's like, wow, like I don't deserve this, like, well, or I deserve this, like, well, wow, am I of service to it? Now I'm thinking of it, am I really of service to that? And if not, then listen, I've yet to be qualified for it. So thank you for that question. And pain and sadness, just to add to this piece here, by asking these questions and diving deeper, it's an opportunity for us to truly experience whatever emotion is coming up for us. There can be times when we get into this language of victim of and I'm speaking for myself here, and what I experienced. I recognize that when I experience myself, when I say things like that, victim, it has me limiting myself. And when I'm limiting myself, then for all of a sudden, now it prevents me from seeing the field, because now I'm pigeonholed into this pain and suffering, or into this perception of what I'm supposed to have, instead of looking at what I have and then and diving into that, experiencing that. It's a slippery slope, and it's something that happens on a regular. Because man, like it's and to think about it, man, this is like, oh goodness. Somebody can help me keep track of time, because I know I gotta start getting ready at like 9:15. Oh man, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, Dana Dane, Glenda, G Money, Zen Latino, what's happening? Yeah, wow, that just took me on something there when I was thinking about deserve. Oh yeah, it's limiting. It has me limiting myself when I start to say, like, I don't deserve, or I deserve it. It has me limit myself because I'm not seeing it. I'm preventing myself or sabotaging myself from seeing everything. And this is some of the energy when we talk about. I've been watching these YouTube clips about from like Dr. Joe Dispenza. If anyone's familiar with him, you have a feeling of what I'm about to say. Like he talks about, he talks to epigenetics. He talks the brain waves function, experiencing what are we experiencing in the moment, changing, doing something different. So it led me to one of these other videos about perception. And the thing is like we can perceive a certain thing. So when we're caught in this space of victimhood, we can see things from the space of a victim. It's like we're playing that part in the play. Now, when we start to see everything, now we're being more of a director or producer of this play in the scene. We're seeing all the grips and like the lights and like the actors and all these things. We're seeing everything, so we get a different picture. We become somewhat detached and attached at the same time. So I feel like I'm about to go off on a tangent, so I'm just gonna wrap this up again with the message. Be curious about if perception's mighty for real, and for real. Yo, it's crazy. Anyway, and thank you all for watching. Watch your language. Just check the words. Be curious about certain things, and be curious about how they feel for you when you say certain things. Like deserve. Be curious. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just something to be aware of, something to be curious of. And with that, I am out. I'm gonna continue. By the way, I'm gonna continue this grounding. I'm liking recording from this space because my feet are in the grass. It's so comfy. In front of the fig tree, we with. So be well, everybody, and I'm out.